This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global at the Matchroom Gym here in Little Worley. I'm joined by Ted Cheeseman. What's happening, Big Cheese?
Yeah, I'm all good, KUGAN, mate.
All good, all good. Obviously, a couple of days ago, it was announced your next fight. You did kind of tease everyone saying that there was a big fight, and this is a huge fight with Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it's a huge fight. It's the opportunity I need to get back to where I want to be. Right now, I'm the underdog, but I'm the British champion. You get a lot of critics and stuff from your past performances, but that's all part. I'm all past all that, and I'm training really hard. I'm in tremendous shape already, and I'm very far out in camp. And I can't wait to get to October and prove everyone wrong and do the business.
Obviously, last time out, got the draw with Kieran Conway. Kind of looking back on that now, how do you kind of assess that night?
Do you know what? It's just all experience. I mean, with boxing, it's all experience. Everyone thinks about an unbeaten record too much. I believe I won on the night. I weren't lucky enough to get the decision. But on the night, you think it's the worst thing in the end of the world. But after a couple of days, once you spoke to a few people who actually around you who know what they're talking about and stuff, and you get their opinion, you sort of let it settle and you get your head back around it. And I'm still in the same position. I'm still in the same position as if I won, so that's the main thing. And you're only as good as your last fight, and it was a draw last time, but after October, it'll be a win, and then all the rest will be forgotten about.
Is the Kieran Conway rematch something that you will want to put right, in your opinion?
Yeah, 100%. To be honest, like I was rushing, obviously, at the start of the year, to get to European level, get to push on. But now there's no rush. I'm 24 years old, so I'm still a baby in the sport. After this fight, as long as I win, I'm confident I will win. There's a lot of domestic fights. You got Fowler, you got Conway, you got Metcalf, Egerton. There's loads of fights. There's loads of domestic fights out there, and they're all big fights. You know what I mean? I think, to be honest, at the moment, in the domestic level, the light middleweights or super welterweights is the most exciting division, the most competitive fights. So I'm just looking forward to. I'm not looking past this fight, but I'm looking forward to getting past this fight, being victorious, and then getting these other big fights in.
Looking back on it now, in hindsight, obviously I say hindsight's a wonderful thing, but did the Garcia fight come too soon for you, or are you using that as kind of a learning curve, and you wanted to kind of learn from that, should we say, and build on? Yeah,
listen, I weren't prepared right for the Garcia fight, not physically, mentally, and that's a big factor. But I'm mentally right now, and that's the main thing. That's in the past. I fought a world-class fighter there, a world-level fighter who then went on to beat Rabchenko after, and will likely get a world title shot before the end of the year. And after he goes and wins a world title, I'll get the credit from the fight I deserve, because I stood in there for 12 rounds, as much as I weren't mentally there, and I had a war with him for the whole 12 rounds, and I never backed down once. And that's the main thing. There's a lot of experience. Everyone forgets. I've done 5 or 6 10-rounders, and I've done 3 higher pace 12-rounders, and all this experience will count against these fighters like Scott Fitzgerald. And I think what everyone realises, they can critic as much. I take shots, I do this. I take shots, I'm not chinny. I can take a good shot, you know what I mean? I was letting myself get hit, I never went down, do you know what I mean? And the thing is, against someone like Scott Fitzgerald, you're going to need to pressure from the start to the finish. And everyone knows that I can fight for 12 rounds at a very high pace. And that's going to count for a lot in this next fight. It's going to count for a lot. And I think I'll prove a lot of critics wrong after this fight.
Obviously, Scott Fitzgerald, very impressive against Anthony Fowler in his win. What are you taking from that fight going into your fight about the way Fitzgerald possibly might even approach your fight?
The thing is, like you just said, it is a very impressive win. But for me, obviously, well done to Scott Fitzgerald, and I think he's a really good fighter. He is, not just from that fight, from just knowing him from over the years and stuff, he's a good fighter. But Fowler as a pro is a flop, really, do you know what I mean? That was his first test, and he got beat, do you know what I mean? he got beat for the first 7 rounds. It was a jab match, yeah, and 8, 9, 10 was quite lively. But before that, they was both nicking the fight on the jab. One will have 1 round, the other will have another round, and the thing is, they was both knackered after the 10 rounds, like ruined. I don't think they had another 2 rounds in them, and that's their first test. Then Fowler went and boxed Rose, and he got clipped a couple of times by Rose, and he looked wobbled a couple of times, you know what I mean? And Rose ain't the biggest of punchers, and Fowler's meant to be this massive puncher who knocks everyone out, and he used to slag off me boxing Carson Jones a load of times, and Carson Jones knocked Brian Rose out in a round. So that shows how much of a puncher Fowler is, because someone who I box who's a non-puncher welterweight knocked his last opponent, his best win out in the round. So that shows you about Anthony Fowler, and I think he's trying to kill himself to make light middle. He's not a light middle, but I think if he goes up to middleweight at British level, you got Liam Williams, and I don't think he'd really want to be fighting someone like Liam Williams. He's a class operator, do you know what I mean? And you got the likes of Felix Cash in this gym. I don't think it'd be any worry to Felix either, do you know what I mean? So the thing is, Scott Fitzgerald showed he's better and more clever than Fowler. But it weren't an over-exciting fight. Like everyone looked on it as a big fight because Fowler's done so well in the amateurs. But out of every 5 GB fighters that turn pro, probably 1 or maximum 2 of them go all the way up. Most of them flop. You know what I mean? Because they're stuck in the amateur game too long, and their style can't change. So everyone's taking a lot from that. It's different styles. Amateur games is one game, pro games another. And obviously I've had my bumps. But before them bumps, everyone was flying and well behind me, and I was boxing well. And that's what no one realises. I've had hard opponent after hard opponent after hard opponent. You know what I mean? And I think all that experience is going to count in October.
Where does a potential fight with Anthony Fowler sit in your mind? Is that a possibility at some point?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, this is what I think. I think. As a boxing promoter, I just drew with Kieran Conway, yeah? Everyone thought I'd win, but I drew. Scott Fitzgerald beat Fowler, yeah? If Fowler's this great fighter, box Kieran Conway, yeah? Because everyone slagged me off after the Kieran Conway fight again. Box Kieran Conway, yeah? Let him box Kieran Conway. See if he's going to chase him around the ring like I did for 12 rounds and keep the pressure on him, and see if he'd be able to do that, yeah? Because I had to do that. If I didn't do that, it'd pick me off for 12 rounds. So let's see how he gets on, and the winner of that fights the winner of me and Fitzgerald, and then it makes it right, doesn't it? That's good matchmaking. Me and Fitzgerald fight. Whoever wins is the British champion. Fowler, who got beat by Fitzgerald, and Kieran Conway drew to me, but everyone thought lost. Even them two fight, and the winners fight each other, and then even the losers can fight each other again, can't they? Do you know what I mean? So there's loads of fights to be made in our weight, but obviously, the thing is, it ain't like me and Fitzgerald box, I'll win and then I'll go and give Fowler the fight. You know what I mean? What he don't deserve? What does he deserve? He's come off a loss and he's beat a pro who was British champion 6-7 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And retired and come back. You can't go on like you've changed and you've done a lot different. No, you fought someone who ain't as good. Do you know what I mean? No more. You fought someone who ain't as good, so that's why you look better and you never blowed up as much. Do you know what I mean? But he still didn't look too fit after 4 or 5 rounds. After the first 3 or 4 rounds, he tried to get him out there, and then he had a break for a little while. Do you know what I mean? Slowed down, and obviously I ain't got no dislike against Fowler. But the thing is when people slag you off, like him and Dave Cole slagged me off. They proper went in on me after the Garcia fight, and then it's like you can't talk if you ain't achieved. I won a WBA international already. I'd won an English title before that, and then I went and won a British title, and they're still slagging me off when I got beat for the European title. He didn't even win the WBA international. He went and won a WBO Intercontinental vacant title, you know what I mean, against Brian Rose, do you know what I mean? Who he said himself, he told him he shouldn't fight Fitzgerald, he's past his best. So, but after the fight, once he's beat him and it's been a little bit of a tough fight, he's got it. He can definitely win titles. He will beat Scott Fitzgerald. Well, why didn't you beat Scott Fitzgerald? It's just boxing talk after the fight. That's what people do. But listen, I've done all that talk and rubbish and everything. But the main thing for me is I'm training hard. I'm going to be 100% come October the 19th, and I'm going to do the business. And obviously, as long as I give 100%, I know I've got every chance.
Well, obviously, Kieran Conway was subsequently signed by Matchroom.
Yeah.
So these fights are not going to be difficult to make because you're all kind of under the same banner now as well.
They're not easy. They're not hard fights to make. Do you know what I mean? And look, what people don't realise is every fight that's been offered to me, I've took. After losing to European title, did I need to take Kieran Conway fight? No, I didn't. I could have had a 6 or 8 rounder against a journeyman. Just got a fight in, so I had a win. I'm back on the winning run. And no, I went straight in for another tough fight. You know what I mean? Another 12 rounder. And that's what people don't give no respect for and no credit for. But listen, there's no point looking for credit. You got to go and earn it and show everyone. It don't even matter what credit or what critics. There's no matter. Even look at Joshua. He was undisputed champion of the world. Everyone loved him. He was the biggest icon in boxing at one point. Then after the fight, you had everyone making silly videos about him and everything. So it just shows you how much these people who support you is fake. Do you know what I mean? You need the supporters in boxing and you need the fans in boxing to thingy. But it's like football, but with boxing, your fights are so much spread apart. You're not up and down as quick. Man United lose one week, they're rubbish. Then they win 6-0 next week, they're the best team, they're going to win the league. With boxing, you got 3 or 4 months before each fight, so you can't turn it around so quick. But when you do, then it all changes. But you got to know yourself who are the true supporters of you and who are just fans of boxing.
Well, it's a great fight between you and Fitzgerald. Obviously, doubled up with Lewis Ritson's fight with Robbie Davis Jr. It's a great kind of a double header.
Yeah, it's a great domestic card, and it's a good arena. The Metro Arena. I don't know the new name for it, but the Metro Arena. It's a good arena, and I'm happy to be fighting out of London for once. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to be out of London and fighting somewhere else. It's a good experience. It'd be nice because I'll get I reckon I'll get as much support, sort of buy tickets and come up to Newcastle as they would if I was fighting in London. It's a weekend away. Everyone can go out there. They love it, don't they? So it's an excuse in it to get away from the missus. So.
Oh, that's one way of putting it, Ted.
Yeah.
Just finally, you believe you stop or knock Fitzgerald out?
To be honest, with me, this fight, I'm not doing all these predictions. The only thing is whether I win, that I'm going to win however I can. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's stoppage, whether it's points, it don't matter. I'm just going to make sure, 100% sure, that I'm in an unbelievable shape and I can push for 12 rounds and I'll win the fight. That's the main thing for me. I don't care how it is, whether it's points, whether it's by 1 point. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. As long as I win, that's the main thing.
Okay, Ted, listen, you've got a press conference on Tuesday in Newcastle, so that should obviously kick off proceedings ahead of October 19th.
Yeah,
so I wish you the best luck in camp, and no doubt we'll get a word with you next week as well.
Yeah, all right, cheers, Cook. Sweet, mate.